Have you ever stopped to wonder why some people seem to have money doing all the hard work for them, while others are stuck, living paycheck to paycheck? Why do schools teach us about history, science, and old books, but never show us how to handle money? The truth is, the system isn't broken. It was built to keep you relying on others for money. Think about it. After all those years in school, earning degrees, working long hours, most people still don't know how money really works. Do you? Because if you can't read a financial statement, how can you ever take charge of your money future? In this video, Robert Kiyosaki, world-famous businessman, investor, and author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, will reveal 10 powerful lessons you must learn if you want true financial freedom. These lessons are the difference between the rich and the rest of us. And it all starts with learning how to read financial statements. Because if you don't know where your money's going, someone else does, and they're making money off of it. But before we go further, I want you to do something. Are you excited about learning this? Then prove it. Write, "I'm ready for financial freedom," in the comments right now. Just type it out. I'll give you a heart when I see it. And if you want to support this channel, hit the like button and subscribe. It only takes a second, but it helps us a lot. By the end of this video, you'll start to see money the way rich people do, and you'll finally understand why most people are stuck in a money trap they can't escape. Let's begin. Number 1. How to read a financial statement. Let me confess something. When I was in business school, there was one class that could knock me out faster than a sleeping pill. Accounting. Seriously, if you ever wanted to see a real-life zombie, just throw me in an accounting class. My professor, who I swear was called Mr. Boring, had the special power to make numbers feel like some ancient lost language. He could have told me the secret to unlimited money, and I'd still have passed out halfway through. But it wasn't just the boring way he spoke. Something deeper was wrong. It felt like we were being forced to memorize numbers and formulas instead of learning how money actually moves in real life. Here's the funny part. I actually argued with my accounting teacher. Not because I was a genius or anything, but deep inside I knew something wasn't right. This man had a master's degree in accounting, yet had never worked as a real accountant. Imagine learning to swim from someone who's never touched water. That's how ridiculous it felt. I once asked him, "Have you ever done real accounting outside the classroom?" His answer? Silence. He didn't know what it felt like to run a business, juggle cash flow, or deal with real-world money problems. He knew the theory, but not the reality, and that's the trap most people fall into. They learn money stuff as if it's just a school subject, not something that decides if they sink or swim in life. The craziest part, 99% of people leave school not knowing how to read a financial statement. Just think about that. We spend years memorizing history dates, analyzing Shakespeare, and solving math we'll never use. But no one teaches us the one thing that can save us from going broke. It's like training someone to be a race car driver, but never showing them how to check the gas. Then we act surprised when they crash financially. You want to know who really understands money? Investors, bankers, business owners. These are the people who actually control how money flows in the world. And guess what? When you walk into a bank and ask for a loan, they don't care about your school grades. They don't ask if you passed chemistry or failed history. All they care about is your financial statement. That's your real report card in life. It tells them everything, whether you're good with money, how you handle risks, and if they can trust you with their cash. I've walked into banks asking for loans, and not one time has anyone asked where I went to school. Not once. But they always ask for my financial statement. They want to see my income, my expenses, what I own, and what I owe. They don't care if I went to Harvard or dropped out. They only want to know if I can manage money. And yet, schools spend years teaching us facts, but not the one thing that really shapes our future. That's why I created the cash flow board game. Because even though accounting may seem boring in school, it's the most important life skill. If you can read a financial statement, You're ahead of 99% of the world. Once you see money differently, everything changes. You stop working for money and start making money work for you. You no longer ask, how much does this job pay? You start asking, how can I grow this money? It's a total game changer. Now, ask yourself, do you know how much money flows into your pocket each month? Do you know how much leaks out from things you don't even notice? Are you buying assets, things that put money in your pocket, or liabilities, things that suck your money away? If you don't know those answers, your financial future is in danger, no matter how smart you are in other areas. Here's the hard truth. Money doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care how nice you are or how hard you work. It only follows the rules of financial intelligence. And if you don't know those rules, you'll spend your whole life wondering why you never get ahead. So I ask you, are you going to keep trusting that your job alone will make you rich? Are you going to depend on luck and hope things just magically work out? Or will you take control of your financial education and finally learn the one skill that can change your life? The choice is yours. But remember this, your financial statement is your real report card. Make sure it tells the story you want it to tell. If you're ready to take control, type "I control my financial future" in the comments. Number 2, the different types of income. When it comes to money, the rich think very differently from everyone else. And guess what? Schools never teach us this difference. Most school teachers, like my poor dad, just repeat what they were taught. They believe what they were told, and they pass it on without ever questioning it. But if you've ever wondered why some people struggle with money their whole lives, while others seem to get rich without effort, it's all about the kind of income they earn. Now, Rich Dad Poor. Dad focused on understanding financial statements, the boring numbers most people ignore. But the second book, Cash Flow Quadrant, is where things get really interesting. It breaks down the 4 ways people make money, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's like discovering the secret game rules of life. First, there's the E quadrant. E stands for employee. These are people who say, I need a secure job with benefits. They work for a paycheck, want job safety, and believe that climbing the corporate ladder leads to success. Nothing wrong with that, until you realize the ladder is leaning on the wrong wall, because no matter how high they climb, they're still trading time for money. And if they stop working, the money stops. Next is the S quadrant, self-employed. These are doctors, lawyers, freelancers, and small business owners. They say, if I want it done right, I have to do it myself. Yes, they work for themselves, but they're still working for money. The only difference? They don't have a boss. They have clients and customers to please. They might earn more than employees, but once they take a break, the income stops. They've just created a more expensive job for themselves. Now we cross to the right side of the quadrant, where real wealth is built. The B quadrant is for big business owners. These people don't just have jobs, they create jobs. They have systems, teams, and employees working for them. That means they can go on vacation or disappear for a year and still make money. Think about it. Jeff Bezos isn't packing Amazon boxes. Elon Musk isn't fixing Tesla batteries. The CEO of McDonald's isn't flipping burgers. These people own systems that make money even while they sleep. And finally, the I quadrant, investor. This is where money works for you. Instead of trading time for cash, your money multiplies itself. Stocks, real estate, businesses. Have you seen Shark Tank? Those investors aren't just tossing money around for fun. They know how money moves and how to grow it. Now here's the wild part. Most people live on the left side of the quadrant, employee and self-employed. But the rich, they live on the right side, business owners and investors. And the biggest difference, it's not working harder, it's learning to work smarter. If you're loving what you're watching, hit that like button. And if this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe and help us hit 100,000 subscribers. We're so close. Can I count on you? If you're already part of the fam, type "I subscribed" in the comments. Just do it right now. Done? Great. Let's dive back in. Number 3. Why you should work for assets, not just a paycheck. When I first told Kim to try an accounting class, it wasn't because I wanted her to be an accountant. Trust me, I wouldn't wish that on anyone I love. It was just a short 2-day course. I wanted to see if she could start thinking about building assets, not just earning money. That's the real difference between people who stay broke forever and people who reach financial freedom. But this mindset doesn't come easy. It didn't even click for us at first. Like most folks, I believed the secret to success was making more money, better job, higher pay, working overtime, or getting a side hustle. Sound familiar? That's what we're all told. Money comes from working, work more, earn more. So that's what I did, until we bought a few properties. Then one day, it hit me. What if, instead of chasing income, I just focused on owning assets? That thought changed my life. Instead of worrying about my next raise, I started thinking, how do I buy something that gives me money every month? Instead of working late, I asked, how do I earn money while I sleep? Boom. That's when the light bulb went off. I didn't have to chase paychecks anymore. My assets were making money for me. That's what our game cash flow is all about. It's what schools never teach. Most people work all their lives for money, then spend it all on bills and junk they think are assets. You see it all the time. Someone gets a raise, and instead of investing it, they buy a new car, a bigger house, or expensive toys. They think they're building wealth, but really they're just running in circles. When Kim and I met, we had nothing, zero, not a dime. It took us 10 years to go from broke to free. She was 37, I was 47. But it worked because we changed our focus from income to assets. It's not about working harder. It's about working smarter and putting your energy where it actually pays off. My first gift to Kim wasn't flowers, diamonds, or a trip to Paris. Nope. It was an accounting game. Yep, sounds romantic, right? But that game wasn't just a game, it was a gift of knowledge. And it changed our future forever. Today, we're financially free. That's the point. Anyone can do this. You just need to train your brain to focus on the right side of the balance sheet. So let me ask, are you working for money? Or is your money working for you? Type, "I'm building assets, not just a paycheck," in the comments if you're ready to change your mindset. Number 4. Why savers are losers. There are 3 types of money in the world today, and if you don't know what they are, you could end up working your whole life for something that's losing value every single day. That's why savers lose, not because they're lazy, but because they're playing the wrong game. The first kind of money is God's money, gold and silver, real stuff. It's been around for thousands of years, way before banks, stocks, or governments even existed. Gold and silver have survived wars, crashes, and even empires falling. You could melt down a Roman coin today, and it would still be worth something. That's real value, but most people today don't even know what real money looks like. They think it's those paper bills in their wallets, but those are just pieces of paper. Fake value. Now comes the second type, government money, also called fiat currency, dollars, euros, pesos. People spend their entire lives working for this money. But here's the truth. Fiat money is fake money. It's just backed by a promise. And if history has taught us anything, governments break promises all the time. Every single fiat currency in history has crashed eventually. Even the US dollar used to be backed by gold. But in 1971, President Nixon removed that link. Since then, the dollar has been losing value. If you saved $10,000 today and left it in a bank for 20 years, it would be worth less, not more. That's why savers are losers. They're saving something that keeps going down in value. Imagine you were stuck on a deserted island. Would you rather have a suitcase full of cash or one filled with food, water, and tools? Cash means nothing unless someone believes in it. But gold, silver, and real things, they'll always be valuable. And finally, The third kind of money, fake assets. This is where people really get tricked. The stock market is packed with companies that look rich, but are built on debt and hype. Remember the 2008 crash? Fake assets. The dot-com bubble? Fake assets. Crypto scams. You guessed it. Fake assets. People think they're investing, but they're really just gambling. The rich don't gamble. They own the game. They buy gold, land, and businesses, things that create real wealth. So ask yourself, are you working for fake money, saving fake wealth, investing in fake assets? If so, you're stuck on a hamster wheel that's not going anywhere. Type, "I refuse to be a financial loser" in the comments if you're ready to stop playing the fake money game. Number 5. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. In school, we're taught that mistakes are bad. Get the wrong answer. Lose points. Fail a test. People say you're not smart. And slowly, we start to fear mistakes. We think success means always getting it right. So what happens? People leave school thinking, if I just memorize all the right answers, I'll be fine. But real life isn't like a test. There's no answer sheet, no teacher with a red pen, no perfect set of steps to follow. And yet, so many people are waiting for the right moment, the right opportunity, the right plan. Meanwhile, the ones who take action, fail, learn, and try again, they're the ones making money and building dreams. That's why so many millennials feel stuck. They're the most educated generation in history. They have Google in their pockets and YouTube at their fingertips, but they're still afraid to take risks. They know everything, but they don't want to step outside their comfort zone. Think about it. Did Elon Musk ask for permission to launch Tesla? Did Jeff Bezos take a test before starting Amazon? Nope. They jumped in, they made mistakes, and they kept going. If they had waited to feel ready, they'd still be dreaming instead of doing. Mistakes aren't your enemy. Fear of mistakes is. Every successful person I know has failed. A lot. The difference? They didn't quit. They learned. They adapted. They kept moving. So fail fast. Fail forward. That's the real secret to success. Here's my challenge for you. Stop waiting. Start acting. Make mistakes. Learn and grow. Because the only real way to lose is to do nothing. Type, "I'm not afraid to fail" in the comments if you're ready to take action. Number 6. Taxes can make you richer. Want to be rich? Then you have to understand taxes. I know it's not the most exciting topic. Nobody wakes up saying, "Yay, let's talk tax brackets." But here's the deal. Taxes can either keep you broke or help make you rich. It all depends on which side of the game you're on. Let me break it down. Everywhere in the world, there's a pattern. Employees pay about 40% of their money in taxes. You work hard, get your paycheck, and boom, the government takes its cut before you even see it. Self-employed folks, doctors, lawyers, freelancers, pay around 60%. They make more, but also get taxed more. They think they're free, but they're really just high-paid workers with more bills. Now here's the twist. Business owners pay only about 20% in taxes. Why? Because they know the rules. The government gives tax breaks to people who create jobs and help the economy. And guess what? Investors pay 0% in taxes. Yep, 0. Why? Because they put their money where it grows. Real estate, businesses, stocks, things the government wants to support. So, instead of working harder, they're playing smarter. They're using taxes to build wealth, not lose it.